Hello, good morning, and you welcome to the business news here on HitzAfrik Radio. And time check is 9:10 GMT AM. You can follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel or get our app on moderngh.org or YouTube channel. And also visit www.hitsofreakradio.org. I am Janny Koomson. Now to our headlines. The Fidelity Bank support to the Ghana Infectious Disease Center, and also gaming industry players call for more consultation on proposal gaming tax. And also, there is an increased manufacturing pushes PPI for February to over 10% higher in 12 months. And again, blame recent fuel hikes on rise in world price. And on our international front too, when we go to Liberia, Solidad set to turn over newly constructed palm mill to local farmers in Grand Bassa country. And in Kenya, Bro Kenya Power needs bailout to stay affluent, audits reveal. There's and many more coming up. Do stay tuned. Thanks for joining us, and now moving to our front. The POWI urges government to support women affected COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the Public Utility Workers Union has called on government to offer specific support, particularly to women whose jobs and livelihoods were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the union, majority of the women in Ghana work in the informal sector, a situation that exposed them more to COVID-19 infections, as some women in the formal sector, such as the hospitality industry, also lost their jobs. They made the call at a post-International Women's Day celebration organized by POWI at the POWI Hospitality and Conference Center at Kaswa in the Central Region on the theme Women in Leadership, Achieving Equal Future in the COVID-19 World. Speaking to the media, gender coordinator for POWI, Mrs. Joyce Maku Apia, said although the pandemic imposed great hardship on everyone, women were badly affected by the outbreak due to the nature of the work majority of them do. She indicated that POWI's focus for this year's celebration is to identify and highlight the achievement of women in the COVID-19 era. And also, we want the union members to reflect on how the COVID-19 has really affected the workforce. She says, now from statistics globally, everyone has been affected, but what the data is saying is that women have been more affected. Now, she applauded government for the interventions it introduced during the peak of the pandemic, such as the free water and free electricity for institutions under the union. She commended them for the shift system at the workplace, even though she admitted those policies were not implemented specifically to benefit women. The gender coordinator further urged government to work on the economy to make it easier for Ghanaian women to access jobs. Now moving to a different story, Ken Oforiatta justifies proposed new tax. Now, the finance minister designates Ken Oforiatta has justified the proposed new tax in the 2020 budget. Oseche Mensah Bonsu, the caretaker finance minister, while delivering this year's budget, statements announced more to impose tax on fuel, that's 10% per liter for diesel and petrol as sanitation and pollution levy, and 20%, 20 pesos per liter of petrol and diesel to be used as energy sector recovery levy to cover charges on the state for excess capacity of power. He also announced the introduction of other taxes such as COVID-19 health levy of 1% of VAT and financial sector cleanup levy of 5% on profit before tax on banks. Though these soon to be implemented tax have not been received well by Guineans, the government believes these tax will aid the country's recovery from the effects of COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Foriata in a virtual post-budget forum by PricewaterhouseCoopers said, if you look at tax, we do have issues of sanitation and Delta Fund for energy, and those have been tackled. So the petroleum tax are supposed to help contribute towards that. Then we have the 2% of VAT, which essentially is looking at making sure that we are able to pay for the vaccines and get our people working. Now, still in Ghana stories, blame recent for Hicks. So the Association of Oil Marketing Company has attributed the latest increases in price of petroleum products to the prices and forces of demand and supply on the world market. In a statement to clarify issues on the back of the government's newly proposed petroleum levies, the MC said the upward adjustment of the fuel prices is not a result of the yet to be approved taxes. The Association of Oil Marketing Companies would like to state unequivocally that the current fuel prices on the market are not a reaction to the proposed taxes, but rather the existing world crude oil prices and market forces. He said. According to the association, the new levies would only take effect when Parliament approves the 2021 budget. It added that while at it, OMCs will react accordingly, taking into cognizance the effective cost of operation following the imposition of taxes. Fuel prices have already risen by some 11% in the last 2 months, and proposed new taxes could make an additional 5% rise in taxes, which will be borne by consumers. Now, the Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited has donated items of needs to the Ghana Infectious Disease Center at the Ghana East Municipal Hospital to support the treatment of patients in the wake of the continuous spread of COVID-19 in Ghana. The suppliers comprising of bed sheets, pillowcases, gum boots, blankets, and desktop computers are to support the smooth running of the Ghana Infectious Disease Center as they treat more patients. While presenting the items to the Ghana Infectious Disease Center, Owusu Buahen, Human Resource Director of Fidelity Bank Ghana, said Fidelity Bank is a major stakeholder of the center as COVID-19 infections continue to increase in Ghana. We deem it appropriate to offer additional support to the facility. Now, Fidelity is committed to the fight against the spread of COVID-19, and we will continue to support individuals and organizations who are at the forefront of combating this pandemic. Now, receiving the item on behalf of the Ghana Infectious Disease Center, Dr. Joseph Oliver Kome, Medical Director of the Ghana Infectious Disease Center, said these items are very valuable to our operations. We are grateful to Fidelity Bank Ghana for their support, and we call on organizations to support the center to effectively fight COVID-19. Now, the gaming industry players call for more consultation on proposed gaming tax. Players in the gaming industry have called for a broader stakeholder engagement with the government ahead of plans to tax business. According to them, taxing the industry may have an adverse effect on their businesses. The move to tax the industry follows the government concern that Ghana loses over 300 million Ghana cedis annually in revenue due to leakage in the sector. The government noted that the influence of online betting and automation of one totally manual process has changed the nature of revenue sources from that industry. An accountant at Betika Godwin Azoko Agbavito said consultation was needed to involve the Gaming Commission and, even possible, the National Lottery Authority and then the gaming companies as well, and probably GRA. Now let's move to other stories. Thanks for staying in tune. This is Hits of Freak Ghana. And on our business news front, when Lagos imposed a lockdown last year, Nigerian civil servant Ruth Olamideji saw a way to earn extra money. So now coronavirus pandemic swaps Nigerian banking agents boom. With people unable to visit banks due to the coronavirus pandemic, she became an agent providing local banking service. Olami Oladimiji signed up with Money Points, a mobile money platform on whose behalf she helps customers with services such as opening accounts and withdrawing cash. It has increased my standard of living. It has helped me to be able to support people financially, said the mother of two, adding that she previously struggled to pay school fees and support elderly relatives on her civil service salary. Oladimiji has set up 6 kiosks in her community in just under a year and says she earns more than 60,000 naira every day. While people can visit banks again, social distancing rules make it a time consuming business and the local mobile money kiosks are more easily accessible. Mobile money firms across Africa are ramping up plans to bring back into millions after the pandemic caused a surge in the use of digital financial services. Firms in Nigeria say they have recruited more agents to meet demand. Solomon Amadi, vice president of MoneyPoint, said the company's banking agents had increased from 8,000 in 2019 to more than 50,000 in February 2021. Similarly, Dotum Adenkule, vice president of product engineering at payment platform OPay, said it had nearly 4,000 agents nationwide, up from 290,000 in February 2020. The demand increased for financial services. People could not go to the banks. Naturally, the agency then also increased, said Adenkuli. However, a preference for cash is deeply entrenched in Nigeria, enhancing financial innovation and access. A research body that monitors financial inclusion in Nigeria said a survey it conducted in 2018 showed only 3.3% of Nigerian adults reported having mobile money accounts. But its chief executive officer, Ashley Emmanuel, said there had been a steady increase in digital and mobile financial services in recent years. Now moving on to Liberia, Solidar set to turn over newly constructed palm mill to local farmers in Grand Bassa Country. Scores of farmers in Compound 2, Grand Bassa Country, are poised to benefit from Solidar's effective mill initiative introduced in Liberia to boost palm oil extraction. The installation of the mills is part of effort to increase the production capacities of small and medium enterprises, whose are contributing 50% of the activity cost as partners in the implementation of the Sustainable West African Palm Oil Program, founded by Embassy of the Netherlands in Ghana. The first mill is expected to be set up in Wine Bell in Compound 2 On Friday, a higher power delegation led by Solidar's new country representative Michael Doe visited the area and expressed delight over the progress made so far. And in Kenya, broke Kenya Power needs bailout to stay safe affluent. Now, the country's sole power distribution company is technically insolvent and requires a government bailout to stay affluent, according to the latest audit reports. The report by the Auditor General Nancy Gatungo for the year ending June 30, 2020 shows that Kenya Power recorded a loss before tax of 90.04 million. Now, the situation is made worse by the fact that its liabilities of 117.5 billion far outweigh its current assets of 42.63 million by 74.85 million. The company has reported negative working capital position for the fourth consecutive year. Read the report that is before the National Assembly. Now, the oil refinery in Nigeria has 4 refineries, all government-owned. Its current import virtually all its refined petroleum products. The Federal Executive Council has approved 1.5 million US dollars, about 600 naira, for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery. They approved the amount as its virtual meeting held Wednesday and preceded by the President Muhammadu Buhari. The approval comes amidst a controversial price increase and the bump price of petrol that was later reversed. Now, that's all for both the local and international news happening in and around the globe. Now, before we sign out, a recap of the news headlines. Now we're talking about Fidelity Bank show support to the Ghana Infectious Disease Center, and also the gaming industry players call for more consultation on proposal gaming tax. And there was an increased manufacturing pushes PPI for February to over 10%, highest in 12 months. And also on our international front, Liberia Solidad set to turn over newly constructed palm mill to local farmers in Grand Bassa country. Now in Kenya, we saw broke Kenya Power needs bailout to stay affluent. And that's and many more stories report to your front page. I am Janny Koomson. Do stay tuned to other stories.